Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Brotato, the arena wave-based action roguelite autocaster. You know, all of the above. One of whatever combination you decide. We did it. We're finally here. Danger 5, max difficulty. Yeah, things are gonna get a little more focused from here. I've finished 6 characters now with Danger 5. As you can see, I've done Loud, Engineer, Well-Rounded, Brawler, Lucky, and Entrepreneur. The Lucky one I'm excited to show you. That's not today yet. Today we are going to be going with Engineer, because Engineer was the first one that I cleared Danger 5 with. It took me quite a few attempts to get through level 5, or Danger 5, so I learned a lot kind of along the way. I've been kind of like, I guess, mentioning it retroactively as I've been uploading these videos though. But yeah, so Engineer is you get plus 10 engineering. Engineering modifications are increased by 25%. You start with a wrench. Structures spawn close to each other, which is very good because it makes your damage from your turrets it keeps them nice and focused, so you can kind of hang out around them and feel a little safer than having them spread out. But your damage modifications are reduced by 50%. That's just like flat all damage modifications. So all flat damage as well as your percentage damage. So we got a few different options for starting weapons. The wrench, you can get a second wrench, which gives you a turret when you start. The screwdriver spawns mines, which deal damage based on your engineering stat. And then there's a plank, which is an explosive and elemental item, which is basically just like kind of an early explosive item that they added to the game. And then there's a hammer, and a hammer is just like a very slow, high damage weapon, basically. But yeah, so we're gonna be starting with one of these, with the screwdriver or wrench. So yeah, let's get into it. And we go with the screwdriver, and here we go, Danger 5. This was my my first clear on Danger 5. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, it is. So with the Engineer class, basically, like you're not really relying too much on your melee attacks. You kind of just want your turrets to do the work for you. And since they get grouped up, generally you can hang around them and be like relatively safe. I mean, on Danger 5, it gets pretty hairy, but yeah, that's the general strategy. I'm a big fan of this class. It just makes you play the game so much differently, and for a game or a game genre that already kind of takes away a fair amount of control, the fact that you're relying even further on something that's not within your control, and the turrets and their targeting and whatnot, they I don't know, it's just mildly entertaining to me. And yeah, I like the idea of just building a bunch of turrets and having them kind of do the work for me. It's a fun concept. All right, as you can see, our turret's doing pretty well. We've already got an incendiary turret, which is the upgraded, or that's what you get for a level 2 wrench. So each wrench upgrade makes the turret one stronger, and each of the stronger level turrets are they're different kinds of damage. Like the level 1 is obviously just like your regular projectile. The level 2 is the incendiary turret. You can see it shooting out blue flames. If we get it back into frame, yeah, there we go. There's the blue flames coming out of it. Level 3 is a laser turret, I believe, which is just like a higher damage projectile. And level 4, red tier or legendary, is it shoots explosive projectiles basically. So we can kind of sort of start taking explosive modifications and whatnot, which is kind of a neat thing to build into. Obviously, explosions are fun. Now that we've got 2 upgraded wrenches, you can see we have 2 incendiary turrets and 3 regular ones. And the screwdriver is what's making the mines spawn, and those mines do scale based on engineering, so they definitely fit the theme. I figured having a mix of both is probably where you want to be, because the mines, they do a pretty decent chunk of damage, although it's just like a one shot, but it can kind of keep the area clear, which is nice. And we're getting pretty fortunate with our shops here. We've already got level 3 wrench, which is going to be another higher level turret, and we're finding turrets as well as another screwdriver there. So you can see the third kind of turret. I believe it's a laser turret. Yeah, you can see like it's kind of a different color projectile. It does a lot more damage than like the regular turret. Whereas like the incendiary turrets kind of have like a wider spray of damage, but the focused laser damage is it's obviously a little bit more efficient. Also has better stopping power. Gonna take some armor. We definitely want to be nice and tanky, because again, we have to rely on our turrets to be kind of doing all the work. So being able to just survive waves while our turrets deal damage is very important. We'll take that lemonade, which is going to give us +1 health when we pick up consumables, and you can see consumables drop at random from enemies. Now they're on danger 5. You can see these big enemies are starting to spawn. This is only wave 7, and this is you can see an egg kind of pop up, and if you don't take out the egg, then this enemy that shoots out like a line of laser or whatever it is, a line of red to deal damage. Yeah, see, there's the egg. We managed to take that one out, but yeah, if it manages to stick around long enough, it spawns one of those very large, pretty scary enemies. They got a decent health pool and do a lot of damage in an area. All right, picking up a medical turret out of a crate is fantastic. Take some max HP, and then we get 2 level 3 tools here, a turret and a level 2 wrench. So we're gonna have a level 4 wrench next turn, which is on wave 8 or 9 is I feel like it's very good. Getting our first legendary already. And yeah, we've managed to accrue a fair amount of turrets. Well, we've got a couple. We've got the turrets from our wrenches, as well as we're starting to build up other turrets just from the shop. The medical turret is an extremely important one, especially on engineer, because again, the just being able to stay alive while your turrets deal damage is the goal here, and medical turrets do that or help with that a lot, especially since they heal more with the higher engineering stat you have. Speed is also a pretty important one, but HP regeneration, I think, is the most important thing for us here, is just being able to live. We could have taken the helmet, which gives us armor, but we sacrificed speed, and I think speed is pretty important. And we're just going to lock another level 3 wrench. So yeah, we're getting these very high tier items very, very quickly, which is really nice. And you can see the kind of green turret is shooting explosive bullets now, which is fantastic for horde waves like this. We're going to be able to get that crate at the end of the wave. Again, we don't need to pick up the crates or anything, so fortunately they come to you at the end of the wave. There's an item that gives you extra materials for picking them up, but I think that's the only real reason to pick them up, is if you have that item. We took the steroids there just because it's some extra max health. The melee damage doesn't really do anything. We get to take our third level 3 wrench. And there's another screwdriver, which we are going to take. And there's another medical turret. So getting a second medical turret now is fantastic. Again, that's going to boost our sustain by a lot. And yeah, you can see our turrets doing like really decent damage. They're taking out these large enemies that are generally hard to put down relatively quickly. So that's always a good sign. Not to mention our medical turret keeping us at full health. Alright, we get a Schmoop, which we sacrifice the flat melee and range damage, which we're not using at all anyways, so that's fine. Definitely a good trade-off to get those defensive stats. And then we skip the base wrench. Just because like we have kind of a hard time, we had a hard time fitting it into our equipment without having kind of some awkward combines, I suppose. Again, turrets are doing a pretty good job of taking out these really tanky mummy enemies, which is definitely was going to be a big cause for concern. You've seen even on the lower difficulties how healthy and bullet spongy these enemies can be. So the fact that the turrets are like kind of putting them down relatively easily is very very good for us. Get to take some engineering there on the level up. Another incendiary turret and another wrench. And we took a scared sausage. So your flat damage doesn't affect your turret damage. It's all engineering, but your on-hit effects do get carried over or do get applied to your turret attacks. So now the turrets all have 25% chance to light things on fire. Although I don't see anything getting on fire, but that could be just because they're doing too much damage to the enemies. So let's hope that's true. But I was under the impression that the way that it's worded, it says like on-hit effects should affect or be affected by your turrets. Your turrets should be able to pick up those bonuses. Some more HP regen there. Another medical turret. The third one is fantastic. There's another scared sausage, which we are going to take. Should give us up to 50% likelihood to set things on fire with our turrets. And there's an incendiary turret, which we are going to lock. We've got a pretty good cluster of turrets now. And yeah, you can see another feature of this Danger 5 is these tentacles, which shoot damage in an area to the left and right of themselves. So if you stand right in front of them, they can actually hit you, but it's pretty tough to be able to stand still in this game, as I'm sure you've noticed. But if you can just stand in front of them, they can't really do much to you. But they are also very healthy and kind of hard to take down. Take a little bit of extra dodge there. There's an Estes couch, which would give us a ton of if we hadn't taken so much speed, it would give us a ton of regen. That's something that you can kind of build towards if you plan for it early, but we took speed as just trying to be evasive here. All right, and another feature of Danger 5 is now we get elite fights, which are basically mini bosses on certain waves. There's like a little thing on the bottom right of the equip screen that shows you when they're going to show up. I didn't really point that out, but I mean I hardly look at it, so it's kind of just a thing that I get surprised by anyways. But yeah, so if you're able to take one of these down, you do get a red crate, which gives you a guaranteed red tier or legendary tier item. So there's a big incentive to take them down, but the health pools are very large. As you saw, we only got it down to about half. So even with our decent damage from our turrets, we still didn't quite get it down there. So it's a little bit unfortunate that we don't quite have the damage output for that. Although I think the health pools for like the bosses on Danger 5 is maybe a bit large, because there's only been a few different runs where I'm actually able to take down elites, but I mean, as I guess do more specialized and better builds, like maybe that'll happen more often, but for now it's mostly just about it's been about just surviving those waves. Although we have killed a few for sure. Again, our wave clear very, very good now. As you can see, we can being able to just hang out in the middle of the map is pretty huge. It means that we're clearing enemies very, very well. And we're gonna upgrade our wrench to another level 4 item. And we took a base screwdriver there, but rather than combine into a legendary one and just having a base one and a level 2, We do just recycle the base screwdriver for now, and we will lock another medical turret. We can never get enough of those. And again, we can just kind of hang out in the center of the map, collecting materials, basically without issue. Which just goes to show how powerful our wave clear here in this with these turrets is. Turrets are taking down the big enemies before they even get a chance to charge at us, which is a great sign. We take a few hits at the end there, so that's a little bit scary, but we managed to get out of there. Take some extra armor there. We get that medical turret, and we get a robotic arm, which is going to give us a bunch of engineering, which is fantastic. Again, these high health enemies going down relatively quickly. Not like super fast or anything, as we're later in the run, and enemy health does increase as you progress. Our DPS hasn't quite kept up entirely with the health pools, but it's still pretty good. I mean, we had a bunch of powerful tools early, so it makes sense that we were doing a lot of damage quickly, and then we kind of our power level kind of tapered off a little bit. And we're gonna lock that bandana, which is gonna affect our projectiles, and that does include your turrets, and it's gonna give them kind of a piercing effect. And here's another elite, and this one likes to lay eggs and summon a bunch of those giant enemies. And yeah, we go down super low early, but we managed to evade long enough for our medical turrets and regen to get us back to full. Now our turrets can kind of go to work, just clearing everything. We can just try and keep our distance from the boss, who's just shooting out waves of projectiles. Again, we get it to about half, so our DPS is about half of what it would need to be to actually get the kill on that elite, or on one of these elites. The bandana should increase our wave clear as well. Being able to have our turrets pierce through enemies and basically hit multiple things is going to be a huge boost. We do lose a little bit of damage because of it, but we can recoup that. And I think the piercing effect is a lot more worth it than just a little bit of damage. Again, we're just standing in between our turrets, and they're kind of just clearing everything out. We're taking some hits, but not enough for our to overwhelm our medical turrets, fortunately. We're skipping a couple engineering items, which looking back seems like a mistake, as we could always use more engineering. The stopping power would be great. And here we are, wave 20 now. So on Danger 5, you get 2 bosses instead of just the one. As I'm sure if you've been following along, you've seen each of these different bosses at different danger levels, and now they're here together. So yeah, having to dodge 2 different forms of projectiles while also clearing waves is can be a bit difficult, but our turrets are doing a great job at keeping the enemy numbers nice and thin, letting me focus on just kind of trying to dodge in and out and not get hit by too many of these projectiles or floor dots. And there we go. We survived the run and we cleared Danger 5 for the first time. So yeah, that was it. That was Danger 5 cleared with Engineer. Yeah, again, I think this class is a lot of fun. Just playing or buying and playing a bunch of turrets is very satisfying to me personally, and yeah, I enjoyed it anyways. And yeah, so now that we have our first Danger 5 clear in the books, I've got a few more Danger 5 clears that I'm gonna be uploading as well. Some definitely the more interesting ones I think will come first, and yeah, hopefully you'll look forward to those. But if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel, and I really appreciate it. And yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.